Why is Washington suddenly treating New Delhi like an adversary? This week, US President Donald Trump shocked the world by declaring that America has lost India and Russia to the darkest China. A statement that has raised eyebrows not just in Washington but across New Delhi, Moscow, and Beijing. But here's the real question. Did America really lose India, or did Trump himself push India away? On his social media platform, Truth Social, Trump wrote, "Looks like we have lost India and Russia to deepest, darkest China. May they have a long and prosperous future together." One cryptic sentence, just 20 words, and yet it sent shock waves across the world. Analysts in Washington called it a self-goal in foreign policy. Fareed Zakaria said it was the greatest own goal in modern foreign policy. Even Trump loyalists were confused. Was this sarcasm? Was it resignation? But the truth is this: it was none of those. It was an admission of defeat. The Ministry of External Affairs in New Delhi chose silence, no official response. But behind closed doors, Indian officials called it a miscalculation. Why? Because for 27 years, India and the US have maintained stable ties. And suddenly, tariffs, insults, and open disrespects are undoing decades of diplomacy. An MEA official told The Hindu, and I quote, "India is the most populous democracy, one of the world's largest markets. Targeting us after 27 years of stable relationship is nothing but a miscalculation." Now here's where Trump's hypocrisy comes in. He blames India for trade deficits, but he conveniently ignores the billions of dollars America makes from Indian students, IT services, and digital platforms. In goods, America may face a deficit, but in services, the US is the clear winner. Every year, Indian students pump $8 billion plus into the US economy through tuition and living expenses. Indian IT companies keep Silicon Valley competitive, and American big tech, Google, Meta, and Netflix earn billions from Indian consumers. So who is really benefiting? America. Let's not forget the timing. Trump's angry post comes right after the Shanghai Cooperation Organization SCO summit in Tianjin. That summit was historic. Modi, Xi, and Putin were seen laughing, holding hands, and signaling a thaw. For the first time in 7 years, Modi visited China. Xi Jinping called for the dragon and elephant to be friends, not rival. Putin declared the era of dictating terms to nations like India is over. This is what rattled Trump. Because in one photograph of Modi, Putin, and Xi, it looked like a new world order was taking shape. But if Trump's words were shocking, his Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick's remarks were just downright insulting. He said, and I quote, "In a month or 2 months, India will be back at the table," saying sorry to Donald Trump. No US official has disrespected India at this level before. Lutnick mocked India for being a vowel between Russia and China in BRICS. He said India must support the dollar, support the US, or face 50% tariffs. This isn't diplomacy. This is arrogance, and India must not accept it. Yet, in the very same breath, Trump tried to soften his stance. Speaking at the Oval Office on September 5th, he said, "I'll always be friends with Narendra Modi. He's a great Prime Minister. He's great, but I just don't like what he's doing at this particular moment. But India and the United States have a special relationship. There is nothing to worry about. We just have moments on occasion." A mixed signal. On one hand, tariffs, insults, and pressure. On the other, professions of friendship and special ties. This confusion only deepens the trust deficit between Washington and New Delhi. Remember, all of this started with Trump's 50% punitive tariffs on Indian goods. He accused India of profiteering from Russian oil and even called it Modi's war. And while he imposed a 50% tariff on India, he quietly deferred his 145% tariff on China. So who is Trump really helping? Ironically, Russia and China. By isolating India, America is pushing New Delhi closer to Moscow and Beijing. For decades, Washington tried to wean India away from Moscow. Bill Clinton, George Bush, Barack Obama all invested in making India a strategic partner. Trump has shredded all of that in just weeks. John Bolton, former US National Security Advisor, said it clearly. Trump's disastrous tariff policy has destroyed decades of effort to align India with the West. Even Nicholas Byrne, former US Ambassador to China, warned, alienating India undermines America's ability to counter the China-Russia-North Korea axis. So what should India's response be? First, stop relying on US-owned digital platforms. Second, India must build and strengthen its own social media and digital economy. 3. Revisit military pacts. Agreements like LEMUA and COMCASA were meant to deepen trust, but if trust is gone, why keep the burden? 4. Put restriction on US digital goods. Just like Washington slaps tariffs on Indian exports, India can regulate American tech companies operating here in India. And last, demand respect. India must make it clear negotiations can continue but not under threats, tariffs, or insults. The relationship must be based on dignity. Let's be clear here. Trump has admitted that America lost India, but the truth is he lost India because of his own ego, his own short-sighted policies, and his own arrogance. India is not a country that comes saying sorry. India is not just a market. India is the world's largest democracy, a civilizational power, and a rising global leader. If Washington continues to disrespect New Delhi, the world will only see America losing more than just India. It will see the collapse of America's credibility in Asia, and that will be the real own goal of US foreign policy. Thank you for watching the News Point. I'm Shubham. Until next time.